On 31st December at 10, a man aimed a firearm at a girl. The girl urges him to pull the trigger, declaring that she foresaw this and it's unsurprising that he is the one executing it. He then responds to Erica that he doesn't desire that either and will follow her shortly after. She then remarks that they have resolved their conflict spanning years and warns him that whoever is defeated will rot in damnation. Suddenly, something shifts as she speaks Rio Senpai's name, and the scene cuts to an armored man warning Konkan that she's going to lose. He adds confidently that he'll take her down in a single blow. But Konkan fires back, saying he won't stand a chance, not after all her experience fighting gravel or rock. Konkan then deftly strikes him, having memorized all his techniques. The system declares triumph for Konkan while exclaiming that she is now experiencing a winning streak. A man in the crowd applauds Konkan, impressed that she won with just a single punch. Players whisper about the only one who might beat her, Bangset 69, but he's been offline for a while. Meanwhile, Konkan waves goodbye to her squad, saying she has to head to school and earn some cash. She then steps out, trudging along the street, flooded with water. Eventually, she arrives at her father's lounge, where he is attired like a lady. Konkan asks him when they're planning to move out. Her father responds that it's difficult for them to relocate. He also mentions that he's proud she received a scholarship. Then, in a playful tone, he instructs her to call him Mama while he's dressed like that. She questions why he wears such outfits every day. He explains that it's his battle gear and his war never ends. Her father then serves her katsudon. She compliments the taste while making a silent wish. Erica then sends a message to Bangsat 69, asking where he has been all this time. A notification pops up from Bangsat, telling her that some family matters had to be sorted out. She responds with a mischievous tone. Her father interrupts, reminding her to finish her breakfast. Bangsat states that it's not so easy to get rid of him. He adds that she should get ready to sweep the floor. She replies, calling him a loser, and challenges him to a match. She then asks if he plans to voice chat now. He refuses, saying it'll be too noisy. She bids him goodbye, hands the bowl to her father, and thanks him for the food. Then she stands up and prepares to head to school. He tells Erica to be cautious on the way. She lets out a small cough, thinking she might have caught a cold. A shopkeeper offers to save some teppanyaki for her, and she agrees, praising the snack. On the way, she meets an old woman who compliments her for being as spirited as ever. Joking about the damp weather, the woman says she'll throw a party if the flood continues and invites Erica to join. Erica chuckles and agrees. While walking further down the road, a small girl approaches and asks if she's part of the SAR team. Erica smiles, replying that they're always ready to save people. Then she asks the girl if she'd like to be the one rescued. Chica responds that she prefers helping others over being the center of attention. Erica reaches a dry stretch of road and sighs in relief. She gathers herself and starts riding her bicycle. Arriving at school, she hears murmurs and comments about her from different students. She walks down the corridor quietly and steps into Class 2A, and someone greets her. Everyone else is caught up in conversations. Overhearing one, Erica asks a girl named Karina why she's talking about foreigners when she's clearly one herself. Erica props her legs onto the desk and casually greets the class with a good morning. The rest of the students continue to ignore her, making shady trades with one another in exchange for entry fees. Erica then cuts in, saying that if he loses, he'll gain nothing but regret, and the prize money will be hers alone. Erica then sits beside a boy who's struggling with his remote control, startling him as she suddenly appears behind without warning. Erica, while confirming and taking hold of his remote, asks him what he's trying to say. The crowd begins to cheer. Chaos wins. Someone comments that he'll check the recreation room, and it's packed to the brim. A newcomer approaches a girl, asking if this place is always this crowded. She responds in surprise that it's all because of a third-year transfer student. Erica walks up to the boy, informing him that it's Inarikawa. She challenges everyone to battle, which is why the room's always packed. She also adds that there's an entry fee, and if you lose, your money's gone too. The guy starts thinking she's impressive. Just then, Erica asks the defeated senpai if she can have his rind. He bluntly refuses. Erica thanks him while taking the cash and tells him the challenge is still open. He's welcome to try. The boy, fired up, shouts that she must have tampered with the controller. He adds that he hasn't seen her lose even once. She's probably been cheating the whole time. He points a finger at her. Erica grabs his face with a smirk, teasing him for blaming his failure on an innocent controller, one bought with school funds. She leans in and tells him that before he breaks school property or points fingers, he should learn what real defeat feels like. He snaps at her to be quiet, but Erika fires back, reminding Hori Akira, a top scorer, that his parents fund the academy, and yet he still peeks into the girls' locker room. Despite all those accusations, no one dares to expel him. She knows that he has been watching her, and if he dares to harass her in a classroom full of pupils, it will cause him to be expelled. The boy attempts to strike Erika when another male student steps between them and begins to remark that he shouldn't lay a hand on a lady on the school premises. Actually, he shouldn't do it anywhere, as it could lead to suspension from the institution. He then checks on Erika to see if she is all right and apologizes for interfering, then tries to tell her his name but stops, diverting the conversation by asking the guy who attempted to hit her if his remarks upset him. Erika restrains her expression while thinking that he ruined all her plans to defeat that guy. She labels him as an intruder since she doesn't plan on remembering his face. Erika calms herself down with a sigh, resolves not to break her persona, clenches her hands into fists, and surveys the situation. She then attempts to deceive him with her strategy. Erika thanks him politely and offers her challenge free of charge. The guy happily accepts, impressed by her skill, and raises the stakes. If he loses, he'll do whatever she wants for a month. He tells her to go all out. Erika suddenly realizes she's made a huge mistake. He's no fool. That comment proves he's a serious gamer. He asks if he can pick the game they play. She agrees, inquiring about his choice. Erika finally catches a glimpse of some of his features, including his large arms. He answers that it's Smash. As he grabs the controller, she instructs him not to use it. He asks what's wrong with it, if it's the notorious switch stick drifting. She asks if he's aware of it. He confirms, saying he's had his fair share of drift issues, and now only uses third-party controllers. She tries to guess which type, but fails. She then asks if he uses Hall Effect sticks, to which he nods. She thinks with sorrow that this is unfortunate, as she must defeat him. Karina and her companion, observing all this, begin to gossip in shock, having never seen Erika behave this way with a boy. Other classmates are equally stunned by Erika's smile. Erika wonders why this conversation feels so good, as though she's chatting with an old companion. Taking that as her reason, she vows to demolish him mercilessly. The match begins. The indistinct boy states that those 30 minutes were the most intense of his life, while everyone is amazed at what just happened. Erika thinks she lost to someone who isn't Banksta 69 and just transferred here, and now wonders what she should do. She fears he might demand something awful. The boy compliments her and says it was difficult, but he still managed to secure a victory. Erika remains overwhelmed by the sorrow of her defeat. He then asks if they can play repeatedly. Erika exhales when he once again remarks that he is beginning to feel emotionally wounded. She must chuckle. Erika responds that she didn't intend that, while dabbing the corner of her eye, remarking that they can play whenever they have spare time. She then inquires if he desires to get intimate with her like the other guys. He then begins to pose questions as if it's a matrimonial interview. He then states that she has to wait until tomorrow. Erika consents and asks if he has a Distort account so they can exchange their IDs. The scene transitions to Erika playing basketball with full passion. Observing this, students begin to comment that even though she just faced defeat, she is extremely lively now. They then compliment her as a beauty with intellect, while a girl wonders in confusion why she engages in such foolish behavior. Karina asks Haruka if she has visited Erika's house. She recalls her father's tavern, where he, as usual, is dressed like a woman, asking her whether they've arrived for Erika, then begins explaining that Erika comes from a lower-income neighborhood and owns a bar, and she might have briefed them about it as well. Haruka asks her if she herself is odd, and that maybe people will now realize what others have been saying about them. Karina continues, disregarding her friend's remark, stating that Erika is like a sly fox. The scene transitions to Erika with her friends after the match. She asks Karina and Haruka if they know that senior's name. Meanwhile, Haruka and Karina wraps up their conversation about Erika. Just then, Erika grabs a water bottle and begins drinking it furiously when Karina's friend points out to her to slow down. She ends up choking, to which Karina says that no one's going to steal it from her. The bottle falls from her hand, and she places a hand over her mouth. Everyone begins to worry about her as she's unable to breathe properly. She collapses, and everyone is stunned to witness this. At Erika's father's bar, he bids a customer farewell. While smoking, he reflects that it's getting late and wonders where Erika is. Suddenly, his landline rings. He answers the call, and the caller asks about Inarikawa Seiji-san. He inquires if there is any issue regarding Seiji-san. The caller responds that it's not about him, but rather about Seiji-san's daughter. His cigarette begins to drop ash as it falls to the ground, and he dashes out, his thoughts consumed by Erica's childhood. He soon reaches her. Erica, wearing an oxygen mask, gently lifts it to call him Papa, but pauses, then remarks whether he rushed here wearing that outfit and whether people mocked her. He abruptly embraces her, pleading for forgiveness for his foolishness, sobbing against her shoulder, and begins to apologize over and over. Erica also becomes emotional, but somehow manages to ask why he's crying like this. It was just a minor incident during her club activity. Erica breaks down as well and begins weeping loudly, stating that she doesn't want to die. Her father explains that he spoke with the doctor, and it's silver lining syndrome in its initial phase, and they are still examining her rare condition since such symptoms shouldn't appear this early. Erica responds that she will use all her savings for her medical expenses. He tells her not to worry about the cost. He'll handle everything himself, as he will always be there to protect her. He then stands up, informing her that he's stepping out and asking if she needs anything. She declines, saying she'll just sleep. Lying on the bed, she grows anxious, fearing he will land in a terrible predicament now that she has become another burden for him. She can't assist in earning money for her treatment. A notification buzzes on her phone. It's Bagsat as usual, asking if she's up for a game tonight. She declines, telling him about her health. He responds, offering help in any formal way he can. She replies that she only wants to earn money to support her treatment. He then asks if she knows a certain individual. He adds that if she does, there might be a lucrative job opportunity available. She then questions whether the job involves major risks. He affirms, into the underworld, it's where she'll be stepping. He adds that she'll just be dipping her feet in, to which she responds that she's not going to sugarcoat it. He further explains that it's a job filled with danger and massive rewards. He assures her that it should cover the entire treatment cost and warns her not to sink deeper while she's only testing the waters. He then apologizes, saying it's the only thing he could offer. He didn't want to lose his only companion, and if she accepts the offer, she must visit a nightclub and state that Lupus sent her. Her eyes are teary, and her expression is drenched in fear. In her mind, she apologizes to her father with overwhelming sorrow, as she can't remain still like he wanted her to. She refuses to stay down like a proper daughter, and she won't let death seize her. She then lies on the floor, reflecting that she doesn't feel anything like she did the previous day. She asks herself in confusion whether she's all right. She rises and prepares to confront it, ensuring her gear is ready. She might have a fragile reason for surviving. She then tells herself that she can endure anything just to play one more match. The scene shifts to Erica stepping outside, telling her father that she's heading to a friend's house. He tells her to call if anything comes up. He then returns to his phone conversation, believing she wouldn't do anything reckless. At Rakoncho, a red light district, Erica ponders that she never imagined she'd return here. She gazes downward from a window, thinking that not much has changed. It's a place glowing beneath neon lights, steeped in insatiable desires. Every corner of this district harbors some form of vice, and it always carries that sharp metallic odor. She thinks further that she's back again. She stares at the establishment called Purple Mist with awe. Suddenly, she becomes thrilled. She then considers that if she shifts her mindset, this could feel like an adventure. Her excitement builds as she runs toward the entrance, thinking that she can finally meet Bangsat. The security guard tells her she can't enter. She responds that she's here to meet Lupus. She proceeds inside and texts Bangsat that she has arrived. She becomes slightly puzzled by the setting. She then walks up to the bartender and orders a mojito. She glances over at the host, thinking he's singing an Ever rendition in a place like this, assuming it must be that era where even a charming host like him could be an otaku. As she keeps watching him closely, their eyes suddenly lock, and she begins to panic. She feels bewildered and quickly looks away, but he continues to gaze at her. Or perhaps he recognizes her? Suddenly, the host begins behaving oddly, beads of sweat forming on his forehead, as if stunned by her presence. Meanwhile, a woman approaches Erica, asking if she'd like to keep her company until the right person shows up. Erica appears slightly puzzled, so the woman explains that sitting alone here doesn't look good. Erica straightens up and tells her that her friends are employed here, and she doesn't actually mind waiting a bit for them. The woman seems impressed that Erica associates with people of such circles. Erica is still confused, questions if it's right to speak like that in an establishment like this, but the woman laughs and reveals that she's the proprietor of the venue, introducing herself as Yorobami. She mentions that she enjoys receiving input straight from patrons and often blends in among them to break the ice. She now proposes to play a game with Erika, saying that here, everyone is welcome to join in and enjoy a simple little guessing match, and assures her not to stress since it's nothing serious. Erika winks and replies that she doesn't mind. Observing the woman, she quickly realizes that Urabami intends to cheat, and as she studies her movements, Erika identifies the exact moment she does. But in the next instant, Urabami suddenly crosses her hands and asks Erika to pick which one hides the coin. This startles Erika, as the switch in gameplay catches her off guard. She begins to feel irritated, but the woman remarks that Erika must be incredibly fortunate. Erika stares at her, thinking that Urabani resembles a final boss-type figure, an intimidating woman deliberately luring a knave girl like her. She suspects Urabani is going to cheat. While this may be a harmless game with no real consequences, Erika still feels uneasy about it, and she doesn't understand why. She then decides to test her fortune and picks the correct hand. Urabami flinches, revealing her palm with a startled reaction as Erika actually chooses correctly. Erika casually tells her it's not a big deal and then walks toward the host, asking why he keeps staring at her or whether he recognizes her because she herself doesn't recall him. The host appears baffled and wonders if she truly doesn't remember him. He asks if she's forgotten after their last intense match. But then he admits it's partly his fault too, as he didn't properly introduce himself that day. As Erika jogs her memory, she recalls him yelling, but he quickly urges her to stop, saying he'll have no choice but to physically hold her back if she continues. Erika reassures him not to worry, saying he looks quite different today, so nobody would recognize him anyway. The guy exhales and states that he'll properly introduce himself this time, revealing that his name is Satrio, and he doesn't have a surname, so she can simply call him Rio. He asks her not to inform anyone at school that he works here. She blushes and responds that she understands, and not to worry, he probably has his own reasons for needing to work. She then tells him that she was actually searching for him at school today to exchange their account info, but couldn't locate him anywhere. Meanwhile, Urabami grows bored with their conversation. As Rio asks Erika for her social handle, Urabami suddenly kisses him, silencing him mid-sentence. She then steps back, announcing that it's his punishment for ignoring her, and tells him to enjoy his private time here at her establishment. As she walks away, she looks content, declaring that tomorrow will bring her good luck. On the other hand, Erika feels flustered, and the boy tells her not to be so embarrassed. It's not like Sumair-san typically acts this way in public. Erika then texts the person she had been waiting for, asking them to arrive soon since she's starting to feel uneasy in the club. When she gets busy with her phone, she informs Rio that she needs to respond to a message first. He replies that the situation is critical and that he might have to leave her, telling her she too shouldn't linger in a place like this as it's no place for a high schooler. Suddenly, she rises from her seat, telling him he doesn't need to say anything else, calling him senpai. He looks at her and explains that his friend's life is in danger, and that takes precedence over everything else. In a flash, she grabs his shoulder, calling him Bangsat69 with a grin, declaring that she's really met him. He stares at her, bewildered, asking if she is Con. He jolts in shock, asking her if she's actually a girl. She smiles and says she's at his service. He freaks out, calling himself a fool, saying she's really going to traumatize him if this keeps going. She looks at him, puzzled, asking what's wrong with him all of a sudden and what this traumatizing thing even is. He tells her this has nothing to do with him, but she really turned out to be a girl, right? He grits his teeth in frustration, unable to process the situation, while she remains cheerful and asks if he wants to play a game. Suddenly, he yells that it has everything to do with her being a girl, and for her own safety, he's calling the deal off. This shocks her, her eyes widening as she shouts back, asking if he's joking. After all, he's the one who invited her here. People around them are startled by their argument. Now security steps in, preparing to escort her out. Rio demands a good reason not to cancel the deal. He then instructs the guards to take her to the back and not to treat her harshly. As they shut the door behind her, Urabani approaches Rio, smirking, and mocks him, asking if she's the one he plans to recruit and involve in their little affairs. He apologizes, asking her to go away, but she embraces him, teasing that her little boy just got scolded. She offers to comfort him and tells him not to stress. He apologizes again, explaining that Erika must have misunderstood, so he needs to talk to her privately as soon as possible. As Urabami continues teasing, he firmly asks her to stop, saying he's learned his lesson, and insists he won't involve Erika just because he owes Urabami his life. Meanwhile, Erika throws a fit in the room where they've locked her alone. She's panicking, wondering if she's truly been kicked out, but she still can't wrap her head around the fact that Senpai and Banks at 69 are the same person. She can't comprehend why she's being treated differently by each version of him, nor can she decode his strange words. Even Sumire-san, who claimed she'd leave them alone, kept staring. Feeling overwhelmed, Erika thinks she has no time to waste. She urgently needs money for her treatment. Suddenly, a group of boys approaches, asking if she was thrown out of the club. They can't understand why a girl like her would be treated that way, and one of them comments that maybe the club's standards are slipping. One guy then suggests she join their club, promising she'll have a great time, be treated like royalty, and that the place is just around the corner. He swears she'll love it. Erika smirks and tells them she's not buying what they're selling. If she had the cash, she would have spent it on an RTX 3080. Suddenly, one of the guys slams the wall, startling her. She yells out, insisting that she really doesn't have any money. The guy narrows his eyes and tells her she can pay with something else, and that she's going to enjoy every second of it. She makes a face, telling him she doesn't want to make that kind of deal. The guy grins, confused, asking why she's wandering around this type of place, then grabs her by the shoulder. Erika kicks him away, startling the other guys. They yell at her, furious, demanding how she dares to do that. As they rush to attack her, each one ends up crashing into the wall, one after another. Then she sprays something in the face of the last guy as he calls for help, looking at them all on the floor. Meanwhile, Ryo sits in silence, troubled, wondering if he really screwed things up. He questions himself about his actions and sighs as he opens the door, hoping she understands what he meant. But the moment he steps in, he's shocked by what he sees. Erika runs toward him, demanding he give her hat back, but he holds it away from her, asking what in the world she just did. She makes a sheepish face, explaining that she was about to be assaulted, so she fought back. It was self-defense. She again asks for her hat. Ryo remains stunned, unable to comprehend how she took down 3 grown men. One of the guys groans from the floor, swearing to get revenge. Erika taunts that she'll tell Ankit he got his butt kicked by a little girl. Then she glances at a wallet she swiped earlier, just in case. Ryo remarks that nothing's stopping them from coming inside. He tries to open the door, but suddenly remembers. It locks once it shuts. Erika gasps in shock, shouting that he should have known that. Ryo immediately pulls her clothes. As he turns, he sees the same thugs standing before them. One sneers, asking why Ryo smashed his bottle, saying he should have caught it and returned it. It's not like he can afford another bottle of Dom Perignon. He demands to know what Ryo's going to do now. The thug suddenly recognizes Ryo as Lupus and calls it a signal to summon more men to challenge Purple Mist's loyal hound. Ryo sighs and asks if he's a Nikki. Then he gestures toward Erika, telling her to take on the 3 she handled earlier. He'll handle the rest. He suggests they go back to their good old teamwork. Erika bolts. Ryo stares in disbelief, asking where she thinks she's going. She shouts back that she can't take on a mob of fully armed guys. She's running for her life. Ryo is stunned by her words, mumbling that Benny-san is lucky this time. The thug tells his men to first help their fallen crew. As Ryo glances up the stairs, he wonders how someone who's supposed to be sick can run that fast. Erika yells that someone should have mercy since she's sick, while still sprinting. The goons catch up to her and start praising her physique and crude detail. She snaps back at them, shouting what kind of creepy description that even is. Then, fueled by frustration, she suddenly declares she's got enough strength to take down at least 2 of them. Right then, Ryo shows up and takes out the thugs with a powerful kick. She stares, stunned, and blurts out that he just pulled off Blacksmith Anders' iconic dropkick, an attack that's taken out countless new players. Laughing, he admits that ever since he met her, that game has been stuck in his mind, especially after she mentioned the dropkick. She blushes, reminding him it's the very game where they first met, 10 years ago. He grins, agreeing, mentioning that he owes her an explanation. As they run, he begins explaining that he initially thought she was a guy, which is why he botched the deal. She's stunned, asking him why he'd think that. He replies that she used boku, so she can't blame him for assuming she was a dude. She sighs, asking him if being a girl disqualifies her from the job. He agrees that it's not meant for her, elaborating that Sumire-san is possessive and would definitely traumatize her. She doesn't allow any other girls near him, and he doesn't want her to know about Erika. Erika, now realizing, thinks in disbelief that this was the reason behind Irobeni's behavior. Ryo continues, mentioning that he knows who she is and has a different job for her with a lower pay. Still, he won't let some random illness take his partner away. He adds that they'll face this fight just like they used to. With a smirk, he calls her boss lady. Erika smirks back, thanking him for the confirmation. He jumps ahead, while Erika still reflects that Senpai is Bangsat. She thinks further, he's the only one capable of defeating her. Rio notices her hesitation and calls back, asking why she hasn't jumped yet. She replies that her current body isn't strong enough for it. She envisions Irobami-san Sumire around her, smirking and saying she is the game. Erika replies internally that if she were to try this leap, she'd definitely fail, but this time she's choosing to leap anyway and is placing all her trust in Rio catching her, because for 10 years he's been a ray of light in her darkness. Rio calls out again, reassuring her not to worry as he'll catch her. Still lost in thought, she vows to make him shine. She feels like he's her guiding moonlight. As she jumps, Rio catches her and pulls her into a hug, asking if she's okay. Instead of answering, she kisses him. He's completely stunned by the move, calling her Inarikwa. She gently tells him to just call her Erika. In her heart, she believes they'll keep playing together, and forever. Erika gently urges Rio to call her just Erika. Her defenses slowly melt as she begins to say she'll do whatever he tells her to. He has the right to ask her anything. She tries to speak further, but the words don't come out. The scene transitions to May 4th, 1730. Sumire tells someone she might leave the underground eventually, but his safety matters more, so she urges him mentally to stay focused. They enter to meet a man, Hori Han, seated at an office desk. He greets Sumire-san warmly and asks about the men accompanying her. She replies casually that they're just waiting for the meeting's outcome, while Lupus stands silently, lost in thoughts of Erika. Urabami sits across from him. Hori nervously asks if she's really sure about Sumire-chan, adding that she's wagering everything on a dangerous game. All the while, Rio's still wondering why Erika kissed him. Urabami replies with calm confidence that there's nothing to worry about. Hori quickly tries to correct himself, saying their group only offers business protection, especially since there are many trying to take over her territory. He emphasizes that it would be a total waste for a woman like her to lose everything in such a game. Meanwhile, Rio reflects inwardly that Erika's kiss was unlike anything he's ever experienced. Urabami smirks, saying now Hori Han's revealing his true face. She then picks up a gun from the table and while holding it, tells him not to panic. If she loses, he'll be the one to inherit her entire enterprise. Trying to dispel the unease, he asks her not to talk like that. But she continues, bringing the gun close to her ear, saying he can take Lupus under his command, even if she fails. Hori, baffled, asks her what she means by that. She cryptically replies, "Don't you already know?" No one dares to lay a finger on him. In response, the guy raises a gun to his own head. The team members watching are stunned. He calmly confirms, "Is she really certain about this?" She nods but then adds that they won't force protection on her anymore. They can end the game now. Then, still pointing the gun at herself, she brings up the young one. She notes she's heard the boy scored quite well at school and tells Hori it's his turn now. He asks in confusion how she knows that. She then baits him to pull the trigger. Rio's mind is still focused on his feelings amid the chaos. Hori stands up, points the gun directly at her, and yells that he'll take everything from her lifeless body if she wants it. Meanwhile, Rio's internal monologue continues. He questions whether he's even capable of love. Just then, Hori pulls the trigger. A loud blast follows. Urabami sighs. It's just as she anticipated. She smirks and informs him she's heading off to retrieve the documents. Hori remains sitting, head bowed, amid the lingering smoke from the gun's discharge, dazed by what just happened. Rio realizes this isn't about duty anymore, it's love. Someone from the team orders to shoot them, but one of the men tries to reason about Lupus's situation and gets brutally struck down. The person beside the fallen man is utterly stunned by what has just transpired. Suddenly, he is grabbed by the hair, while the man standing behind Sumire-san commands his team to fire at Hori with whatever weapons they have. While Rio watches the bullets fly, still lost in thoughts of Erika's kiss, he tells his teammates to keep their distance, wielding a sword amid the gunfire smoke. Wanting to speak to her, he suddenly launches an attack with his blade, declaring he won't allow them to kill him. Rio thinks to himself that he wants to hear her voice, especially when she takes an interest in the game. He can't wait for all this chaos to end. The man holding the sword is then assaulted, but Rio remains distracted, eager to observe her expressions as she plays a move. The man shouts for Agus to come quickly. Suddenly, Rio transforms into a grotesque creature. Everyone watching is shocked by this change. He then swings his sword at one enemy directly in front of him. Blood splatters as the blade strikes the neck. One by one, Rio strikes them down, blood pouring from their bodies as they scream in agony. A heavy silence follows, with one person lying helpless on the floor. That person points a gun at Rio. The floor is soaked with crimson droplets. Rio strikes back with his gun, which now emits smoke. Arabami, calmly smoking on the couch, asks if he's finished. She then smirks and says this should be the last office they destroy. With a strange smile, she cheers him on and tells him to handle the rest. The scene shifts to Rio washing his wounded hand. He thinks to himself that the things you've done never stop following you. They live in your silence. He looks at his reflection in the mirror, believing he doesn't deserve her. Gazing at his hands with sorrow, he resolves not to tarnish her any further. The scene shifts to Rio near his home, thinking he'll help her as a friend, and they'll play like they used to. But he's startled to see the lights on inside. Stepping closer, he smells curry. He wonders who cooked it, since no one should be home. He imagines the worst. Suddenly, he hears noises near the kitchen window taking with Dua and Dewey. Afraid of the consequences, though he paid good money, he opens the door. Erica looks back, sensing someone's presence. Erica and the kids greet Rio, noting he looks exhausted and might not have eaten. She's excited and says she cooked curry for him, telling him to be ready to finish it. Rio asks, bewildered, how she knows where he lives.